I proposed to my girlfriend right after she cheated on me. Did I make the right decision?
That is the question.
I think we already know the answer to that.
What is the answer, Carrie?
I'm not telling you my opinion yet.
We're saving it till the end for retention.
Savoring it. All right, that's what we like. I've known my girlfriend since we were in kindergarten. That's a long ass time.
Wow.
She's helped me through thick and thin, through periods of depression, when my parents were being abusive, when I lost my grandparents. Through it all, she's genuinely my hero. She's also warm-hearted, caring, selfless, and the best person I know. About a month ago, I told her parents and mine that I wanted to marry her, and we agreed to rent out our favorite amusement park. Rent out our favorite amusement park?
Bruh.
That's crazy.
Where I would propose to her, which is also where I confessed my love to her. It is still rented for the 29th of August. It was all so perfect until yesterday. My girlfriend said that she's going to a karaoke event with her female friends. At 2 a.m. today, she returned, clearly drunk, and collapsed in bed. This morning, she woke up in tears and apologized profusely.
Oh no.
After she calmed down, she explained that she was drunk and decided to have sex with another man at the party after the karaoke. And regretted it afterwards a lot. When I asked why she'd do this, she said that she was drunk, that she completely blanked on the fact that she was in a relationship with me.
I just kind of forgot, you know?
No.
You know, I forget my keys.
Yeah. I forget you.
Bruh.
You're just not the most important thing at that moment.
Something has to be fundamentally wrong with that relationship for her to just absentmindedly forget that
Oh,
she's
I was
in a relationship.
absent-mindedly like cheating on you. That sounded to me like she would have had sex with other men if she wasn't with me. So I asked if she was unhappy in bed. Oh, that's such a sad question.
Yeah. Oh no.
Is it because I'm not good enough, baby? But she reassured me it's not the case and couldn't ask for anything more from me and regrets everything she did. I had so many more questions that I wanted to ask, but my heart completely broke and I began crying. She hugged me and said that she would do anything to get my trust back and constantly asked to not break up over this. I said that I need some time to think and went into a separate room. I've now been sitting in this room heartbroken for many hours and don't know what to do. She said that she'd do anything to get my trust back. So I have hope that there's something I can change to ensure.
No, OP, you don't need to change.
I have hope that there's something I can change to ensure that she never cheats on me again.
No!
OP.
Hope you know.
Dude.
I have a couple questions actually.
Okay. Yeah, what are
your
because
questions?
my first question is to OP, has there been any issues? And this is going to sound super therapeutical of me, but has there been any glaring issues in the relationship beforehand? Because if this came out of left field, then okay, that's a little shocking, but if there's been
this happened
issues,
before?
if there's been arguments or insecurity problems, I think that's a conversation worth having. But if this came out of left field, I just feel bad. I just think this is an awful ordeal.
I think also like OP's response to it feels like there might be an insecurity thing
Exactly.
too. Because or like this might like his
Maybe
security from maybe either from past relationship or this one.
Yeah.
And like John and I always say like, were there red flags before? Like there has to maybe be red flags. So, but let's see. How do I ensure she never cheats on me again? Like always going with her when she goes outside, but that feels really controlling and disgusting to me.
God.
Is there any way to not break up and still have trust again that she will never cheat on me? If I do break up though, I don't think I can ever love anyone like her again.
OP.
You're making me hurt, bro. Please try to understand and comprehend that I've known her since not long after I was born. We were often in the same class, doing the same schoolwork together, playing together, eating together, doing everything together. I spent many years trying to confess my love. We've spent many years living, loving, smiling together. She feels like a part of me by now. How can I just throw that part of me away and pretend I'll be fine? I'm saying this because I know it's common on the subreddit to say, hey, just move on. But I really don't think that's possible for me. So I'm really looking for responses responses that suggest how can we stay together with rules to ensure that this never happens again. I would also like to hear suggestions about whether I tell mine or her parents of the incident. I'll have to tell them to cancel the amusement park event, so I probably will have to tell them about what happened. But I could excuse the cancellation as just I'm not feeling ready yet or something. I'm mainly considering this because I don't want her parents to be mad / yell at her or be cold towards her because, as I explained before, she's always been my hero and I don't want someone who's helped me so much get hurt, especially because I've experienced how much that hurts. And there is a giant, juicy update, but I want to hear from you guys. I want everyone in the comments type away like the answers to some of OP's questions. Like, what is a response to this that maybe means that he can stay together with this woman that he's known since kindergarten? But I will pass to you guys. What do you guys think?
You know, the easiest answer always is to be like, yeah, you should break up with her. But they've been in a relationship or they've known each other since kindergarten. It's so much more nuanced. That's decades of...
And should one mistake dictate this? Like, especially if I think what we said before is like, has there been other red flags? If there has, maybe this is indicative of a larger behavior. But if it's an isolated incident, maybe it's something they can move through.
I'm wondering in the update what she comes to him with.
Yeah.
Does she come to him like, oh, it's just like a mistake, like it happens, I'm so sorry? Get over it. Or is it like, hey, here's what I want to do, here's the work I want to put in, and more importantly, what do you need to feel comfortable and start like, you know,
I don't even know if he knows what he needs. Though.
Probably not, but I'm curious how she's coming to the table.
Yeah. Okay. So a day after the post, I decided to ask for clarification as to exactly what happened. I was mentally prepared for every possible response except the one she gave me. From all the information she gave me, I have tried organizing the most important information below. Before the karaoke, the boyfriend of one of her friends, whom I am acquainted with but not particularly close to, decided to join last minute. Let's call him Richard. During karaoke, her female friends kept daring her to chug beers. She told them to stop daring her after 3 drinks, but they kept insisting, making her feel bad by saying stuff like, you never drink much anyway, so just for today, try to have some fun and stop ruining the moment, and other stuff. So she continued. Can confirm my girlfriend normally drinks far less, 2 beers normally. She says that she remembers drinking 10 beers in an hour, which even for like me.
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I would not be doing so good.
She says it's likely she drank more after that, but doesn't remember anything after the 10 drinks, except waking up back home. She says that the drinks very likely made her blackout drunk. In my original post, I didn't provide much detail about when she returned from karaoke due to the word limit on the post and me not thinking that the information would matter much. Regardless, the next day she returned, her female friends were carrying her by her shoulders, and I also had to carry her to her bed.
Oh my
Her legs were barely moving, her body was not holding upright, and she wasn't able to form coherent sentences. Although until then, I did not have an experience with a person who blacked out, I can only imagine that her situation was a blackout, so I do believe that she got blackout drunk. When she woke up, she had 10 missed calls from her friends. Her friends are not good friends.
No.
Not at all.
Not at all good friends. When she called back, her friends explained what happened while she was blackout drunk. During the karaoke, Richard said that he needed to talk to her, my girlfriend, for a moment to strategize on how they'd sing as partners. The friends decided to continue the karaoke while Richard and my girlfriend strategized. After half an hour, neither Richard or my girlfriend were back. So they started checking for where they were. Richard wasn't picking up any calls. After an unknown amount of time, Richard's girlfriend saw Richard having sex with my girlfriend. Of course, Richard and his girlfriend broke up, and then all the females brought my girlfriend home. After finding out about this, my girlfriend was mad and shouted, "How dare he do this to me?" I was in the basement before I saw my girlfriend cry, which is why I didn't hear this. But her friend said he's saying she consented, which if she's blackout, like... Yeah. My girlfriend said that she was speechless and hung up because she couldn't believe she consented to that and started crying because she believed that she cheated on me by consenting and thought our relationship was over. She didn't know that legally, if a person is drunk, consent or not, it is not consent.
Yeah.
I was surprised she thought this because even if you don't know the laws on this, how could you possibly be morally or even solely logically speaking fine to ask someone's consent when they're barely able to communicate? I was really shocked by this story and started feeling badly for my girlfriend. I explained to her that was not consensual. I hugged her and tried to comfort her and asked if she needed anything and how she was feeling. She said that because she doesn't even remember anything after the drinks, she doesn't feel great. She feels like it's trauma. She said that she's mainly disgusted by Richard, but also mad at herself for losing control so easily because of a dare and hurting me like this. We went to the police station to report this. The investigation is still ongoing. Also, to be honest, I was still a little suspicious that the story could have been made up or misconstrued. So I went to the karaoke place that they went to and explained the situation and asked if I could see the camera's footage. So now he's doing like sleuthing. He's like,
oh my God,
seeing if the story actually is true. And also, I think more importantly, probably seeing if there is any evidence that could help her.
Yes. Yeah.
They agreed, and there was footage of the exact situation that I was told playing out. There was also footage of Richard asking my girlfriend for sex, and my girlfriend barely audible saying something like, I like. And he thought that was consent. I've also provided this footage to the police. Although the police's investigation has not concluded, the evidence I saw, in my opinion, is enough for me to believe her. My girlfriend volunteered to explain the situation to both of our parents because she wants to take accountability for her actions. Her parents were very apologetic and sweet about this situation, which I appreciate a lot, which is awesome.
Great.
My parents brought us both together to make sure all of us were on the same page, and we had a big group hug, and my dad said something that really resonated with me. This situation is really shitty for everyone, but I know that love will prevail in the end. That's really sweet. Unfortunately, it was too late to go back on the theme park that we rented that day, so me, my parents, and her parents agreed to proceed with it, but without the proposal, and invited a bunch more people. I told both mine and her parents that I would decide when the right time to tell her that we initially rented the amusement park to propose, because he's like, he didn't feel right about proposing at that point.
Yeah.
I told her about a week ago when things were more back to normal and her feelings seemed very complicated, as one would expect, but I think her summary of her emotions is devastated but understanding is pretty good. Thanks to the advice of many Redditors, we have decided to take couples therapy, which I think is needed after something like this.
Very smart.
It's been really helpful in helping us understand each other and get even closer. She proposed herself that she never wanted to drink alcohol again. She said that it never tasted good anyway and never made me happy long term. She said that she mainly just drinks to fit in, but now plans to stop. So far, that goal has been going great. We also realized that we both always want to do events like karaoke together, but sometimes worry about bothering the other. Even on the day that she went with her friends, she wanted to go with me, but thought that I looked busy, so went alone. I wasn't busy. We have worked hard at being more communicative and expressing our feelings more, and it has seriously been great. I've also told her about my Reddit posts. I want to thank everyone for all of the advice, even if it was a little mean. We're both so happy right now, and I have faith that despite this bump in the road, we'll keep riding this car forever.
That was a roller coaster.
Wow.
Of emotions.
It was.
So I guess, like, how do you feel about how OP handled this situation? Is there anything that he could have done differently? Is there anything that's like admirable about how he carried it out? What do you guys think?
What a guy. What a person. So much grace. And, you know, it's really hard for me to tell if in that situation I would have acted the same way. But, you know, it seems so apparent that he loves her.
Yeah.
And is willing to go to the ends to prove that this happened, to support her through the whole process, because this is not a story of like cheating and infidelity anymore.
No.
This is a story of someone that was actually assaulted.
Yep.
I'm more concerned about her friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Although it does, I mean, like the bad thing is like the alcohol thing, but it does seem like in terms of when they saw what was happening, they broke it up. But it also just doesn't seem like a good environment generally for her to be around. And like pressuring someone to drink 10 drinks.
Yeah. I don't know. It's doesn't sound like a good environment, generally speaking.
No. So like, I mean, I think like the only thing that I don't think was tackled in this story that I feel like should is just like an analysis or like an auditing of your friend group.
Yeah.
what I am glad is, even though like she had nothing to apologize for, I feel like she kind of like brought this instantly to her boyfriend, which shows like a really like a lot of good communication.
Yeah, it did. I think their past relationship, like literally growing up from children, their trust and love in each other was very apparent both ways in the story. Yeah. First with OP being like, hey, I want to like give you a chance and you know try to connect with you because I respect you so much and I admire you so much, and then the other way around too. So at least it seems that their relationship has passed this like insane test that no one should ever have to go through.
Like, hopefully they get through this, and it seems like they're working on it, but like getting over this, like now their relationship is going to be so much
very
stronger.
strong.
Which is, you know, I guess a positive from this like terrible thing that happened.
Yeah. I mean, they literally, the first, he went to Reddit, which I think, you know, in some scenarios can be a little bit dodgy, but he was genuinely looking for help. He was asking the advice. He wasn't being mean-spirited. I don't think he
asked for advice of how to move through it. Like that was his first question, which is, I think,
and he wasn't like, oh, this blah, 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 she cheated on me. No mention or like air of that. I felt like in his
none at all.
He was genuinely trying to see his way through this whole issue.
Yeah.
Wow.
How do you think OP handled the situation, and what do you also think should happen with OP's girlfriend's friends? Would love to know from you guys. Put your answers in the comments. And with that, we'll see you in the next one.
And if you want to send in your stories, you can send them to r/OKOP show, our subreddit, or our new call line 440-508-6567. We'll be playing your voicemails, reacting to them, and inviting some of you on the show. Send in your stories. We'll see you in the next one. Am I wrong for not wanting to be a stay-at-home wife when I retire? Am I the a-hole? I'm smelling some misogyny. I'm getting a big old whiff.
Big old bowl.
Oh, geez.
So I am retiring in about 3.5 months, January 2024. And my husband and I disagree on how the division of labor should be once that happens. Since meeting my now husband, I have been very vocal about my plans to retire when I turn 40. Boom.
Damn.
OP is on
financial
her boss
independence.
shit.
Retire early.
I respect it.
I've planned my life around this goal, lived below my means ever since college, and gave up things to meet this goal.
Huge.
We got married in our early 30s, so it's only been 7 years since then. He also saves for retirement. I finally got him up to his amount of 20% savings, but he won't be able to retire until he's at least 62. Like a freaking loser.
Like a freaking oldie.
He's instead chosen to spend his money on things that make him happy. Like an idiot.
Fucking dumbass.
Oh, no.
Come on. And I fully support and encourage that. So not a side diss. I've said in the past that I am not going to be doing all of the cooking, cleaning, and finances once I retire because I don't want to replace one job with another.
Okay. Fair.
Very fair. My goodness. I currently do all of the cooking, most of the finances, and probably 25% of the cleaning.
That's a very specific number.
Yeah. Hey, you think 25. She like counts for she accounts for it every day? Like, this is how much I've done. Yeah. This is the mopping I've done.
25%.
Yes. I am up 30% month over month, Daniel. I think it's fair, as my husband usually works more hours than I do, and I'm a picky eater, so it just works out best. He recently made a casual comment about how he's going to start working more overtime once I retire because he'll have less household stuff to do. I asked him what he meant by that, since my retirement doesn't really change anything for him, and that I preferred that he didn't work more overtime so that way we could spend more time together. He said that most husbands with stay-at-home wives don't clean the house.
Oh, man.
All right, so we're going there. We're going
there. I don't know what to say because I thought that we had already discussed this. So I tried my best to change the subject, but we had an argument about it yesterday at dinner and he's giving me the silent treatment. I slept in the guest room last night as he locked our bedroom door and won't let me in.
Oh, he's crazy. Oh, he's crazy like that.
I just don't know how to get through to him. Even though I'll no longer be working, I won't be a stay-at-home wife by my own definition. To me, a stay-at-home partner is the manager of the home and doesn't bring in much, if any, income. Their job is to take care of the home. I'm not trading one job for another. I am retiring. I'm still bringing in income. I've just planned my life so I no longer have to work a 9-to-5 to do so. I have multiple hobbies that I've been super excited about devoting more time to. I love rock hounding.
Rock pounding.
What does that mean?
This might be a typo.
Or maybe it's like looking for rocks, like a bloodhound, like sniffing like sick rocks to look at.
What is it, Riley? Do you know? The activity of searching and collecting rocks.
I called it.
Wow.
Called it.
Rock hounding.
That is the most like wholesome, sweet, like innocent hobby I've ever heard of.
Sorry, babe. I can't help out.
I'm rock hounding.
The rocks are
rock hounding, crocheting, and hiking. I'm also an unpublished writer and have always dreamed of becoming published.
Huge.
I have a lifestyle blog and a pretty active Pinterest following. I'm not super consistent and they're not big enough to monetize, so I can count them as hobbies, not side jobs. I also have a very long travel bucket list. I've already started looking into nonprofits in my area that I could volunteer for. I know I still have limited hours in the day, but even if I only volunteer one day a week, I feel like I could be helping our local community. I know we've always had conversations about this and he's always been supportive, even of me leaving for a few weeks every so often to do solo travel. He's always been excited for me. I am totally confused about this change and I'm freaking out. I thought I communicated my expectations, but he's saying that he doesn't even remember talking about it and that he's not okay with me retiring if I'm just going to, quote, just gonna be lazy.
Gaslighter. We have a gaslighter in the house.
My man is throwing all the whale blubber on that gaslight because this is a raging fire right now.
I do think that something that is difficult about this relationship style is it seems like it's very like percentage based, where it's like, like, I think that's also what makes it maybe even more difficult is she's like, I've saved for my retirement and now you save for yours. It doesn't feel like a team in the marriage.
We have a big juicy update, but first we have a few comments to read. How are you currently splitting expenses? We split expenses proportionally based on income. I pay 70% of expenses, and that will continue once I retire.
That changes even more for me.
Yep. Another comment. It feels like you two are living two separate lives at this point.
That's what I said.
That's literally what I said.
At least as far as finances go. OP responds, well, other than joint expenses, we keep our finances separate. When we first started dating, we had about 100 grand in debt. I helped him get a plan in place to pay it off and paid about 20 grand of it myself. I own multiple rental properties that I bought in my 20s that aren't marital assets. Most of the stuff I gave up in my 20s before we met because I made less money. I never went out and I lived on 35 grand a year, even though I was making 70 grand pre-tax. Now I make enough money to save half my income, but still have around 100K left for expenses. I pay 70% of the bills, but I've given up trying to get my husband to think more seriously about retirement. I love him and we agree upon everything except finances. It's never really been a problem until now.
Interesting.
Final comment before the update. What does he spend it on? He spends a lot on expensive Legos, action figures, and limited edition comics. I knew what I was getting myself into. We met at a convention. That's kind of adorable.
That's so funny, but also I have a lot of Legos and I fucking love Legos. And Legos are expensive like shit, bro.
Bro, I get you.
I get like Legos are sick, man.
I pay 70% of expenses. That includes date nights, our house, our cars. I have hobbies as well. I crochet, but I buy cheap yarn. I don't sell anything, so it doesn't matter to me. I love geology, but I find new rocks instead of buying expensive specimens, etc.
Interesting. Yeah, maybe on her hike, she finds those rocks.
So he came home very late that night after ignoring his phone. We didn't end up talking about it, and I slept in the guest room again. He works from home Tuesday and Thursday, so the next days he was home when I got off from work. I spent the day gathering my thoughts and preparing to have a calm discussion. I tried to remain calm, but he was defensive and accusatory, so I was getting very frustrated. We weren't very productive, and we ended our talk with him denying that I pay 70% of the expenses, even though we planned this out and budget together based on it.
What?
Dude.
Where's this coming from?
My man is digging his grave deeper.
Denial.
I told him I'd go through our expenses to prove it. And being the person that I am, I did so the next day.
Nice.
This is where the problem starts. When I was going through our expenses, I found a charge on my husband's credit card from 2 weeks ago that I did not recognize.
Wait, what the dude? I feel like we're uncovering an onion.
Alrighty, here we go.
We're getting into the onion.
I'm getting ready.
It was not an insignificant amount, so I originally looked into into it just to see if it was a household or personal expense to use it in my calculations. It turned out to be a bill paid to a law office.
Uh-oh.
For very obvious reasons, I wanted to know more information on why he was getting billed by a law office. I looked up the office and it was a divorce attorney specializing in property division.
Oh, no.
He's trying to take her shit. Oh, fuck.
I logged into his email. I have proof that he has given me permission to access his email at any time to go over expenses and expense-related issues. And I found his conversations with said lawyer. He was trying to find a way to overturn our prenup so he would get half instead of what is agreed upon in our prenup, and wanted to try and get alimony as well.
Wow.
What the hell?
I had no idea he wasn't happy until we started arguing on Saturday. That morning, he woke me up with breakfast in bed, a total surprise since it wasn't a special day, but he almost never cooks. 2 weeks ago, we had a Star Wars movie marathon and ran around the house in a lightsaber battle. I do love their dorky cuteness.
I
though.
know.
So cute. What's wrong,
God.
man?
Last month, he communicated that he felt like we weren't spending as much time together as we normally do, so I planned more date nights. He's gotten me flowers at least once a week for months now. I just don't understand why he wanted to be divorced without even trying to express what he was feeling to me first.
This took such a turn.
Right?
Ouch.
And we still got a decent bit more too.
Oh my goodness.
When I went all the way back to our very first emails, late July, a woman we'll call Ashley was brought up. I tried to think of a way to confirm my suspicions without him suspecting that I know what he's been up to. On Saturdays, we sometimes get takeout, so I purposely left my phone upstairs and asked him if I could use his to order the food. And I was taking too long to figure out what I wanted, quote unquote, so he went downstairs to finish what he was doing, giving me more time. It was hard to wait that long without letting on what I knew. But from Thursday to Saturday, I began a plan in place. I spoke with a divorce attorney and scheduled my consultation.
Oh.
Dude, they're playing like divorce chess right now.
This is
secret divorce chess. This is
is a lot.
crazy.
And I made sure I had any legal and financial documents I needed. On Saturday, when I went through his phone, I found Instagram messages between him and Ashley. By going through their
No,
messages
he's cheating.
and looking at her account, I figured out a lot about her.
Oh no.
Ashley seemed to be a nice girl that he met on Tinder back in May.
Oh no.
She is 27 and married to her high school sweetheart who can't bring in enough income for her to be a stay-at-home wife. Considering my husband works in tech and by looking at the messages lied about how much he makes, he is obviously the better option. He's lied to her about wanting to have kids and has told her that it's the reason he's unhappy in our marriage.
No.
Oh,
Oh.
what a scumbag.
Whoa. I don't know what he's thinking she's going to do when she finds out that he has a vasectomy.
Oh no.
No
Oh
way,
no,
dude.
he's lying to her.
He's lying so hard though.
And blowing up everything for it.
Oh my.
That's so bad.
That's so.
Wow.
That's so bad.
Ashley is apparently willing to be a proper woman and do wifely duties. That's her words, not my husband's. From cross-checking dates when he's supposed to be hanging out with friends or at a work thing, he's actually with her. She has a weird work schedule, so she sometimes comes over to our house.
Oh, and she didn't know the whole time. That's so bad.
On the days that he's working from home himself and I'm in the office? And they're her regular office. I read home office for a second. I was like, bold moves, sir. She is convinced that after they both go through their respective divorces, that they'll live in the house together, get married, and have kids.
Like the house that he's in right now,
Which
she probably owns.
she probably owns that.
Yikes, dude. You're about to get fucked.
He has just gone along with everything she says. He's told her that I'm lazy and hardly make any money and that I wanted to quit my job and not do any work, which is why he's finally gotten the courage to leave me. He said that he's taking extra care in the divorce because he doesn't want to leave me with nothing. Bruh.
What a fucking loser, scumbag, just terrible human.
He's concocted a beautiful lie.
Yeah.
But it's so screwed up.
Yeah. He also told her that I changed my mind about having kids and that I'm denying him his masculine desires to continue his lineage. This guy thinks about Romans a lot, dude. His freaking
what's wrong with thinking about Romans?
Lineage. I don't know.
What's wrong with thinking about
his
Romans?
Roman Empire is the Roman Empire.
Just a man's
I think about the Roman Empire.
Do you
What's
actually?
wrong with that?
Do you actually?
No.
Yes, I think about
I
the
do
Roman.
too. Yeah,
I think about
it's
the Roman
great.
Empire all the time, dude.
Why?
Not often, but
Because it's like it's.
same. I feel like I touched a nerve. I
Yeah.
pressed the button I shouldn't have pressed. You might be thinking at this point in the story, are you stupid? How did you not know? The answer is I had no idea and I must be dumb as he played me for a fool. I'm trying to put some humor in this for my own sake, but I'm sobbing as I write. I just got back from my new attorney's office with a lot of forms to fill out and I'm so overwhelmed and still feel confused for some reason. Like this just must be a really bad dream. I reached out to Ashley's husband, so they're probably heading towards divorce as well. Ooh. He seems like a nice enough guy, also totally blindsided by the affair. I told my husband I was divorcing him last night and told him he could either sleep in one of the guest rooms or get a hotel. Ooh. He chose the latter.
Nice.
So that's my update. Our prenup has a 99% chance of holding up in court, but we also have an infidelity clause that I'm hoping can prove so I can keep 100% of the house. I was definitely willing to put my dream house in the infidelity clause because I knew I would never cheat. He was fine with it at the time as well, but is now blowing up my phone about it. Let me have your house and let me cheat on you, please. Please. Shut up, stupid. If I can't prove his affair, which is unlikely considering the evidence that I have, I would have to pay him about 25% of our equity in the house, which is enough for a down payment on another house. So he wants me to not bring his affair into our divorce, which is weird to me since he had no qualms with bringing the affair into our marriage.
Oh, damn.
Suck up,
She's good.
dude.
She's funny.
Hell yeah. And I guess a final mini update to what I replied to you about earlier. Turns out Ashley is staying at the same hotel as my husband. Go figure.
Oh my God.
Lol.
Well, at least he has a relationship to fall back on.
He's gonna lose everything now.
He's gonna lose. Yeah, dude. When she finds out he has a vasectomy
And he's
doesn't want
lying.
kids.
Dude. I mean, how does she not?
He's lying about so much. I feel bad for that girl.
Bruh.
Yeah.
I mean, not that bad because she's cheating on her husband, but a little bit
Yeah.
bad.
Jeez.
What a doozy of a like discovery.
What a guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Like it's just like I felt like this story, it's like you kept peeling layers back and it was just like, oh wow, this guy really sucks. Oh wow, he sucks even more. Oh my God. Like it just like each layer you peeled back, this guy was more of a douchebag.
You've got like the
Douchebag
gaslighting, the manipulation, the lying, the hiding, the infidel. Like you got a concoction of the nastiest thing you can do to a
it's
partner.
like the opposite of how the Powerpuff Girls were made.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
they're like spice and nice and everything nice. This guy is just like a turd and an onion.
It's the Infinity Stones of toxicity, baby.
Yeah,
That's what it
literally.
is.
All together.
Thanos of toxicity.
Yeah.
Well, OP, I'm glad that you are getting rid of him.
Maybe the one quick question to all of you watching and to the two of you quickly, what would you do if you were OP and you found all this out?
Divorce his ass.
Divorce
for
his
sure.
ass.
Divorce.
No,
People
literally.
love divorce chanting on this channel.
Yeah. No, I think she's doing the only thing that I may have done differently, and I understand why she did it now because she was trying to get to understand if he was cheating so she could use that infidelity clause. But the only thing I may have done differently is I may have, once I found out about the divorce thing, I may have just brought it up to him fully.
Right.
Why?
Because I feel like, for me, it would be hard for me to just like keep that secret. One, I just want to say. And then two, I think like it feels a little bit more honest. It feels like a little double crossy the way she did it, even though I totally understand why. And I don't think she necessarily did anything wrong. But to me, if I was going through it, I feel like I might have just like given like the benefit of the doubt, whatever doubt there may be, and just give that person a chance to be even a little bit better of a human by like fessing up to it. So that's the only thing I would probably have done different.
It was unclear too if like we were like, oh, maybe it's like something legal.
Yeah.
It may have been, but I don't think we got like kind of confirmation either way.
I don't know. What would you do, John? Do you think you would, if you found out, would you have immediately said something? Or would you have hatched a plan?
I think for me, I would kind of be like taken aback, and it might take me some time to like process before I bring it up to the person. But like for me, probably like a day of like maybe I even like go off on my own and get my own hotel room for the night and just like think it over and then come back to that person. But probably like not more than like a day or so. Yeah. But I would need that time to just like settle a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
Shocking news.
But I do understand wanting to have a plan too. Like that makes sense to me. It's just I think it would just be hard for me to like keep it from a partner.
I mean, like it's insane because I totally get why she would keep it under wraps, like in terms of her own planning for the divorce. But also the other way applies to him. Like, how could he have hid that for so, like, why?
Oh yeah, he's an absolute scumbag psychopath. I'd like that. Like, he's terrible.
Yeah.
But I'm more like thinking like, what is the most empathetic or like best way to approach it from her end? And I feel like keeping
even a way he might not deserve.
Even though he might not deserve it, like, what is the best way for her to approach it? And I think just that like minor tweak, it might be a little bit more empathetic, a little bit more understanding, a little bit more like authentic and honest.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because, you know, hypothetically, if she never kept it under wraps, do you think she would have found out
about Ashley?
Yeah.
I don't. That's what's tricky.
Yeah.
I think he probably would have said something. But no,
really?
He wouldn't. No, he wouldn't have because
he's a slippery little.
Because I think because of the infidelity clause, he probably wouldn't have. No, she probably wouldn't have found out.
So it's like it had to happen for her to find out, for her to use the infidelity clause.
Yeah.
Which it's like what do you call it? It's like a chain reaction. Like it had to happen.
Yeah. Cause and effect, baby.
Yeah.
I understand why she did it, for sure. But I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. My emotions will get the better of me in that moment.
Yeah.
I would go crazy.
But damn, what would you do in this situation? Put your answers in the comments. This is fucking crazy. And also, I hope you love this juicy, double deep dick dive into these both stories.
And shout out to our amazing guest.
Yes. Carrie.
Thanks, guys. So fun being here.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, and we'll see you in an episode very soon. Peace.